So, hi everyone, welcome to MyGo Minds. I think in the last session we have discussed about roadmap for full stack .NET developer. If you want to become a full stack .NET developer, you have to learn some set of courses like programming languages, technologies, frameworks, database, tools, all the other stuff is required for a full stack .NET developer. Is it clear? So, before learning .NET, you must have the knowledge on what are the courses you have to learn to become a full stack developer. First of all, you must have the knowledge on HTML. What is the full form of HTML, all of you? Hypertext Markup Language. So, what is the purpose of HTML? HTML is used for two reasons. One is to design the web pages. One is to design web pages. Other one is to display the content. Display content on browser in a proper format. In a proper format. Is it clear? So, for example, if you open Facebook, what you can see? Login form. If you want to design this type of login form, you have to learn what? HTML. If you open Amazon, you cannot see any login form. You can see the data that is displayed. So, if you want to display this type of data on the browser, then also you have to learn what? HTML. So, HTML purpose is two reasons: to display the data on the browser in a proper format and to design the web pages. After HTML, you must have the knowledge on JavaScript. So, what is JavaScript? JavaScript is a scripting language which is used to perform validations. To perform what? Validations. Validations means if the user is not giving any input and directly hit the button, it has to display the error message. You can see different applications. Is it clear? JavaScript, HTML, CSS, these all are common for every full stack developer. If you want to become a full stack developer, you must have the knowledge on all these things. If I want to create a new account in Facebook, if the user is not giving any input, if you want to design this type of login form, learn HTML. If you want to display the error messages, then learn JavaScript. And if the all the errors are in different colors, if you want to change the text color or background color, font color, etc., then you have to learn what? CSS. So CSS full form is cascading style sheet. CSS is used to apply what? Styles. CSS is used to apply style. Style means appearance. Appearance means look and feel. So this is the main technologies that you have to learn. After this, you must have the knowledge on Bootstrap. So the roadmap to become a full stack .NET developer, what are the courses you have to learn? First, you must have the knowledge on HTML. Then you must have the knowledge on JavaScript. JavaScript is a scripting language actually, but debugging is very difficult when you work with JavaScript. Error handling is difficult. That is the reason to simplify JavaScript. Later, jQuery was introduced in the market. So, when you compare one technology with another technology, which technologies you have to compare? First, we will see that one. So, you can compare JavaScript with jQuery, and you can compare JavaScript with TypeScript. TypeScript is a language actually. JavaScript is also a language. If you want to learn React.js or Node.js, you must have the knowledge on JavaScript. If you want to learn Angular, then you must have the knowledge on TypeScript. Both are languages actually. And then you have jQuery. After jQuery, you have AngularJS. After AngularJS, you have Angular. After Angular, we have React.js. So, if you want to compare, don't compare HTML with JavaScript. Compare JavaScript with TypeScript. Compare Angular with React.js. Compare jQuery with AngularJS. That is what I am telling. And compare SQL with NoSQL. And then you have to compare CSS with Bootstrap. Bootstrap is a CSS framework. If you want to apply any advanced styles or responsive web pages or rich design, then you have to learn what? Bootstrap. And after that, you must have the knowledge on what? OOPS. OOPS is very important. Object-oriented principles. Without the knowledge of OOPS, you cannot start your career as a full stack developer. After that, you must have the knowledge on ASP.NET, which is outdated actually. But before ASP.NET, as a developer, you must have the knowledge on C#.NET, VB.NET. Here your VB.NET is outdated. In olden days, we used VB.NET. Now we are working with what? C#.NET. and then you must have the knowledge on ASP.NET, ASP.NET MVC, ASP.NET Core. In olden days, we used to work with ASP.NET, but it is outdated. ASP.NET MVC also outdated. ASP.NET Core is what? Trending nowadays. Are you following, everyone? Here you have to compare what technology with which one. That is very, very important. Don't compare HTML with JavaScript. Don't compare C# with ASP, something like that. In olden days, to develop the web applications, we use ASP.NET. Later, ASP.NET MVC came. Currently, ASP.NET Core is trending in the market. And after this, you must have the knowledge on .NET framework. In olden days, we used to work with the .NET framework, but now the trending is what? .NET Core. And in olden days, we used to develop web services. Now we are later WCF came. Later REST came. Web API came. Web API is a framework. In olden days, we used to work with SOAP web services. Nowadays, we are working with RESTful web services. I'm comparing actually. Which technologies you have to compare, I'm writing here. Are you following? In olden days, we used to transfer the data. If you want to transfer the data between two applications. Let us assume I am developing one application called bookmyshow.com. Bookmyshow is a web application, and this is your ICICI Bank. ICICI is a web service actual, third party API, this one you can call. Now, the customer will try to log into the bookmyshow.com, he will try to book the movie tickets, search the tickets, all the other stuff, and finally he has to do the payment. And that payment you can do via this banking application. If two applications wants to communicate with each other, we need to transfer the data between one application to another application. Then you must have the knowledge on XML or JSON. In olden days, we used XML. XML means extensible markup language. XML is used to transfer the data from via network. If you want to transfer the data from one server to another server or one application to another application, you use XML. But XML is very heavy concept, serialization, deserializations, these all are required. But nowadays, when mobile came into the picture, mobile means what all of you? Mobile will always accept the response in the form of lightweight. So, mobiles always uh, expect what? JSON type of data. So, JSON became very popular, which is the advanced of XML. So, that is the point here actually. If you want to transfer the data from one server to another server, in olden days we used XML, but nowadays XML is outdated. We are using what? JSON. So, XML, JSON both are used for two reasons. One is to write the configuration code, other one is to transfer the data between the servers. Is it clear? JSON means JavaScript object notation. So, there is no competitor for HTML, JavaScript comparison with TypeScript, jQuery with AngularJS, Angular with React.js, SQL with NoSQL, and if you try to work with responsive web pages, you have to use CSS or Bootstrap. These all are very, very important. So, that is the main purpose here. In olden days, we used to work with SOAP web services, but today there is a trending for RESTful web services. If you want to develop these SOAP web services, then you have to learn WCF. If you want to develop these RESTful web services, you have to learn Web API. Did you understand, everyone? So, generally, if you take different applications are there, bookmyshow.com, irctc.com, Swiggy, Zomato, bank, a lot of applications are there. So, who will develop the applications? Tell me. Developers. Who will use the applications? End users. You can take e-commerce applications, social networking, entertainment, education. But these all applications are doing what? Business. Business means where the money transfer is there, that is called as business. So, if you want to do the business, so all the business means what? Where the money transfer is there. How we will purchase the item through online, how we book the ticket through online, how we order the food through online by using debit card or credit card, and these debit card and credit cards will be provided by banking applications. So, let us assume here ICICI Bank is there. ICICI Bank, what they will do? They will create some web services. Is it clear? Either in olden days we used to create SOAP web services. Nowadays we are working with what? RESTful web services, and these web services can be consumed by multiple web applications. These all are web applications. Bookmyshow.com. Here you have IRCTC. If you want to book the train ticket, or here you can go for Redbus. If you want to book the bus ticket, or if you want to go to PhonePe, that one Rapido, or if you want to go to Swiggy, or you can consider Zomato. You understand? Different applications are there. These all applications are doing business. Business means where the money transfer is there, that is called as business. So now this banking application must give access for their banking data to this particular application. So what the bank people will do? They'll create the web services, and that web service will be consumed by web application developers. Are you following, everyone? Did you understand, everyone? So full stack .NET developer, you must have the knowledge on all the stuff. In olden days, we can create SOAP web services, but nowadays we can get what? RESTful web services. In order to create these SOAP web services, you have to use which framework? WCF. RESTful web services, you can use what? Web API. So nowadays there is no value for web service and WCF. Nowadays we are working with what? Web API only. Are you following, everyone? Please respond.
Yes,
So I'm explaining you the technology stack, what you have to learn to become a full stack .NET developer, and which technologies are that which are trending in the market. In olden days, in order to, now your application is there, you're developing one web application. Web application is a multi-user application. If you want to develop these web applications, you can develop either by using ASP.NET or by using ASP.NET MVC or by using ASP.NET Core. But now ASP MVC is outdated, and every application requires data. Every application requires what? Data. And this data is stored in databases. So database is very, very important. You take your banking application, e-commerce, Swiggy, any application you take, every application requires data. We need to store that data, so database is required. So now your application must communicate with the database. How your application will interact with the database, for that another technologies are required. One is ADO.NET, other one is Dapper, another one is Entity Framework, other one is Entity Framework Core. So ADO.NET is a technology which is used to create the communication between your application and database. So first of all, if you want to become a full stack developer, you have to learn HTML plus C#.NET plus SQL. Now here, these three languages you have to learn. If two languages will communicate with each other, that is called as technology. HTML plus C#, combinedly you can consider as what? ASP.NET or ASP.NET MVC. C# plus SQL, combinedly called as what? ADO.NET. Writing HTML code inside C#, that is ASP or ASP.NET MVC. Writing SQL query inside C#, that is ADO.NET. So if you want to develop the web applications, ASP.NET, ASP.NET MVC, ASP.NET Core, these three are required. If your application want to interact with the database, ADO.NET, Dapper, Entity Framework Core is required. ADO.NET is very old one, but still it is also using in the companies. These all are powerful. This Dapper is called as micro ORM. Now Entity Framework is outdated. Entity Framework Core is very, very important. So that's what I'm telling here. I will try to write the technologies that are required to interact with the databases. One is ADO.NET, Dapper, other one is Entity Framework, another one is Entity Framework Core, EF Core. So this is what we are doing here, ADO.NET, Dapper. Next one is Entity Framework. After that you have EF Core, Entity Framework Core. These all are the trending technologies. And in order to interact with the database, one language is required. That is called as query language. The language that is used to communicate with the database is SQL. And other one is LINQ, Language Integrated Query. Is it clear? These two are very, very important. And nowadays, NoSQL is also very, very important. NoSQL. Full stack .NET developer roadmap. Is it clear? And in order to interact with the databases, you must have the knowledge on SQL Server. And nowadays, MongoDB is very powerful. MongoDB, NoSQL. And apart from this, Azure Blob Storage. Azure Blob Storage. Azure Storage account is also very powerful here. Azure Storage Account, ACA you can call. Did you understood? And Azure Blob Storage is also very important. Azure Blob. Because in olden days we need to install the database in our local machine. But nowadays you no need to install. On premises means what? Developer will develop the application and developer will deploy the application on the server, so that multiple users can access that application. But that server is very costly. Even the number of users are less or more also, it is very difficult for to what? Maintain that particular servers or maintain that particular databases. That is the reason cloud computing came into the picture. Cloud computing means pay for usage. You no need to pay you no need to purchase the transformer to get power to your house. Just you pay for usage. How much you use, pay the bill for that. That is enough. That is called pay for usage. Monthly, the power bill will change. You no need to buy one satellite to get signal to your mobile. Just you need to do the monthly mobile recharge. So when cloud computing came into the picture, actually what happened? This elastic nature, cloud will have elastic nature, scalable nature will be there. And when the number of users are increasing, the server space also will be increased. So nowadays, there is no physical databases, there is no physical servers. Everything we are trying to work through cloud. So that cloud features that are provided by cloud service providers like AWS, Azure, Google. Did you understand? .NET developer, you must have the knowledge on Azure DevOps. That is very important. So what are the cloud providers that are available in the market? One is AWS, other one is Azure, another one is GCP. If you have the knowledge on all these three things, then you are called as a hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud means all the three things you can consider as hybrid cloud. After this, you must have the knowledge on some architectures. Like in olden days, we used to work with three-tier architecture. And then you must have the knowledge on monolithic architecture. And then you must have the knowledge on microservices based architecture. And nowadays there is a good demand for clean architecture. And then you must have the knowledge on saga architecture. So today these all are very popular. For example, if you construct a building without a proper plan, nowadays we can say all high-rise buildings are there. Without proper plan, if you construct the building, in future if any modifications are there, it is very difficult to what? Rebuild that building, because it may affect the total building construction. Similarly, in software industry also, you have to develop the application. If any functionality of the application will not work, the other functionalities must work successfully. For example, if you take IRCTC, in IRCTC, Tatkal ticket booking is there. Multiple customers are booking the ticket. Tatkal will open only for 1 hour, I think. 1 hour or 2 hours, I don't know. So within that particular time period only, it has to provide different types of services actually. So that is the problem here actually. So when IRCTC, let us assume IRCTC is a very big application, multiple customers are booking the train ticket through Tatkal. So lakhs of customers are connecting to that particular application at a time. Meanwhile, another customer is searching for PNR number, but the server is busy, application is crashed. So total the functionality of the application will not work. That is the reason what came into the picture means microservices came into the picture. Application was divided into multiple services. If one service will fail also, other services will work successfully. So that anyway, today trending is microservices. In olden days, we used to follow monolithic architecture. Nowadays, clean architecture is also very popular. That is very popular used in microservices. And Saga design pattern, that is also very popular for transaction management with microservices. See, the technology is what you have to learn. First HTML, JavaScript, TypeScript, jQuery is out. These two are outdated. Angular, React.js, SQL, no SQL, CSS, Bootstrap. Compare C# with VB. No comparison for OOPS. Powerful. ASP.NET, ASP.NET ASP.NET Core, .NET Framework, .NET Core. .NET Framework is outdated. If you work with ASP.NET or ASP.NET or Entity Framework, internally you are working with .NET Framework. If you work with ASP.NET Core, Entity Framework Core means you are working with .NET Core. Today there is a demand for .NET Core. And then apart from this, in olden days we used to work with collections actually, but nowadays there is a demand for what? Generics. This is also very powerful topic. Generics are very important. And then you must have the knowledge on some Design patterns. You must have the knowledge on what all of you? Design patterns actually here. Are you following everyone? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me. Tell me. Design patterns are, one is singleton design pattern, other one is factory. Okay. Did you understand? Design patterns are there. Design patterns are, one is singleton design pattern, other one is factory design pattern, packet design pattern. These all are required actually in 2026. What companies are expecting. Are you following everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
These all are
Yes,
very,
sir.
very important. And nowadays, some other concepts that are required, some middlewares. This is also trending in the market. And then you must have the knowledge on dependency injection mechanism. And these all are the trending concepts. Some filters, some annotations. These all are the trending concepts anyway. Apart from this, you must have the knowledge on some tools. That is nothing but DevOps. Is it clear? Like GitHub, like Maven, is it clear? Like Jira, like Postman. These all are the tools that we have to use in trending tools that are required actually. Is it clear? Postman, similarly Swagger. Is it clear? Similarly, you must have the knowledge on Swagger, and apart from this, you must have the knowledge on CIC, Azure repos is required, and you must have the knowledge on Azure DevOps is very, very important. Azure DevOps has provided all these features to develop the application. DevOps means development plus operations. That is called as DevOps. But here you can see Azure DevOps is very, very important. In Azure DevOps, it will provide lot of services: Azure repos, Azure service bus, Azure functions, Azure app services. Is it clear? And this Azure regions. Did you understand? Azure container registry, Azure container apps, Kubernetes, CI/CD integrations. These all are trending in Azure DevOps. In this course, we will cover that Azure DevOps also. Is it clear? Your database is stored in DevOps portal, Azure DevOps. In olden days, we need to manually work with the physical database servers, physical web servers. But nowadays, your application must communicate with cloud. So this is the roadmap for full stack .NET developer. In this one, outdated are, I will mention here, jQuery is outdated here. I will underline the outdated technologies. Let us see here. One is jQuery is outdated. Angular JS is outdated. Angular is very important for .NET developers. And VB.NET is outdated. ASP.NET is outdated. ASP.MVC is outdated. .NET Framework is outdated. Web Services is outdated. WCF is outdated. Is it clear? SOAP Services is outdated. Entity Framework is outdated. Entity Framework core, but still okay. And SQL also outdated mostly because people are using LinkQ, no SQL. And here these all are trending. And Azure is very popular now. 3-tier is outdated. Monolithic is outdated. Remaining all are trending. Collections is outdated. Generics is trending. These are the trending concepts that every full stack developer must have the knowledge. Apart from this, you must have the knowledge on some security related concepts are also required. Like one is JWT, JSON Web Token. That is also very, very important. So these are the main content that every full stack developer must have the knowledge. Are you following everyone? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
But in order to learn all this stuff, you must have the knowledge on what? C#.NET, especially you must have the knowledge on OOPS, object oriented principles. That is very, very important. Anyway, Monday onwards like that, we'll start that OOPS principles and all that stuff. The main target is to crack the big packages. That is our main target. What we are trying to concentrate here. Did you understood? If you want to crack big companies means definitely .NET use openings are there. The only one problem is people don't have confidence. That is the main problem. So if you want to become a full stack .NET developer, this is the roadmap. First of all, you have to start learning what? Programming languages. C Sharp .NET, UI technologies, HTML, JavaScript, CSS, database, SQL Server, Cosmo DB. That is also important. Azure Cloud, .NET Web Technologies, ASP.NET, ADO.NET, outdated anyway, ASP. .NET Web Frameworks, ASP. All the red color are trending in the market. ORM frameworks, Entity Framework, NT Framework Core. Cloud Technologies, Azure. UI Frameworks, Angular, React.js. Design principles, that is also important. Solid principles, acid principles. And apart from this, today there is a good demand for system design where we'll try to cover, there are nearly 30 concepts are there related to system design. System is nothing but a project. If you want to develop any good project, you must have the knowledge on that 30 concepts of what we'll try to cover. It understood. Today there is a good trending for all these 30 concepts. Like one is client server architecture, IP address, DNS, proxy, reverse proxy, latency, HTTP, HTTPS, APIs, REST API, GraphQL, databases, SQL versus no SQL, vertical scaling, horizontal scaling, load balancing, database indexing, database sharding, replication, vertical partitioning, caching, denormalization, CAP theorem, blob storage, CDN, WebSockets, webhooks, microservices, message queues, rate limiting, API gateways. Is it clear? Idempotency. So these are the 30 trending concepts if you want to catch product based companies, or if you're already working having that 13 to 15 lakhs package, you want to crack more than 30 to 50 lakhs package means it's the right time for everyone to upskill. .NET more future is there, more scope is there. The only problem is .NET developers became very weak. They're still working with old .NET frameworks. So just change your mindset, upskill your career. Microsoft means every year the new features will come. We must also update and we can easily survive. .NET more features are there compared with Java or Python in full stack point of view. I hope you understood. Thank you.